Good morning, brothers and sisters. So, I wanted to come on here and to speak to you guys about my experience that I had dealing with witchcraft in the church. There will probably be various parts to this video, so I suggest that you watch them all because I know everybody's going to want to know who, what, when, where, and how, but you have to watch all the videos in order to get the answers to those questions. So, welcome back to another episode of I Am My Father's Daughter. All right, guys. So, to start, I just want to say this is not an exposure video. This is not a slandering video. This video is simply telling my experience that I had within this church. Um, my experience with seeing the witchcraft that was done in the church and knowing and being able to see in the spirit, excuse me, of what was going on behind the scenes and also what is going on with the members within the church. So I want to say this was in 2022. I was invited a while before to a church by this girl that I used to do some modeling stuff with. She have did a little bit of photos for me for my business, and she's a very young girl. And I really love this girl. I looked at her like a little sister. You know, she we used to talk on the phone every now and again. We was really cool. We laughed, we joked. I always looked at her like a little sister. So she invited me to this church, and one day I was just like, let me just go see what it's about. And I went to a Bible study. So I went to the Bible study. I see that there's mostly women in the church, and there is a woman leading the church. So I'm getting and sucking in the information because if anybody knows me, to know me is to love me. And if you know me, you know I like to learn. You know a lot of things about me. And one thing you know about me, I'm very bold. And one thing I'm never is scared. So she invited me and I enjoyed it. I was enjoying the information. Everybody was so welcoming. It was nice. And she was like, you like it and such and such and such. And I was like, yeah, I like it. I'm gonna come back again and see, because you got to visit a few times to see. So I was just, this is why I tell people it's not so good to be so hungry, because when you're so hungry, um, Prophet Tommy said this: when you're hungry, you would eat things that are sour and call them sweet, or things that are not good and call them sweet, or something of that sort. So around the second time I visit, I start seeing the or start feeling a difference in the leadership, like the leader. So I mean, I was only there 2 times, so you know, so as time goes on and go on, I start ignoring it and whatever. And I call myself trying to join this church. But when I tried to join, I didn't get a welcome. Usually the leader will say, "Oh, well, I'm your pastor, such and such." I didn't get none of that. None of that. I was told to go sit down. So I was already rejected from the beginning. So I went to, after, going along, and I see that the leadership is rejecting me. The pastor is rejecting me. She's, rolling her eyes at me, treating me a certain kind of way. So I go to the young lady that invited me to the church and I say, "Hey, this is going on. I'm feeling this type of way." But I never told her who was the issue that I was having, because I know how people are when it comes to their pastors, their leaders, and I don't want to look like and she's young. So when I got to the church, I did not really too much hang out with her like that, because I know I'm older than her. There's an age gap. So I just, so And she was like, very offensive about it because she wanted to know who is bothering you because I invited you here. And that's not a good look on me. And that was understandable. But I never told her it was the pastor. I never told her. So I just ended up going and speaking to the leader myself. So I spoke to the leader and I say, I'm feeling a spirit of rejection from you. And, I'm telling her how I'm feeling, but she's not really listening to what I'm saying. She's, oh, no, that's the devil, such and such and such, and all this other stuff. I said, okay, I left it alone. So things would happen to where we would give our offerings and she would pray for everybody in the line after they give their offering except me. So now I see that not only is a spirit of rejection, but you're trying to bring the spirit of offense to me so that I can leave. So Holy Spirit begins to speak to me. I could be sitting right in the service and the Holy Spirit is telling me certain things that is going on behind the scenes, even with my tithes and offerings. So I would leave the church and go to my store when I had this store at the time. And I would say, Lord, I'm not going back there. But the Lord would say, you are going back there. I need you to go back there. And I would just cry and I'm not going back. I don't understand. Why does this lady hate me? I used to always pray and ask the Lord, why do this lady hate me? I don't know these people. I never did nothing to these people. So then I start getting the revelations. I would pay the tithes and offering. What the Holy Spirit was telling me was she had went to the women in her leadership to pretend as if I'm an issue. Oh, I don't know about her. I just don't know. Something ain't right. She a witch or, little stuff just to get their mind going. It's called manipulation. So she would make them believe that something was wrong with me. And so what I started noticing is there would be a different leader every week that would sit behind me or sit close to me, like they looking to see what I'm doing and see what I'm saying. So it got to the point where I'm just laughing. Like in my mind, I would be laughing, but I did not understand why, Lord, would you want me to keep coming to this place? I don't want to come here. So I'm not going to tell everything all in this one video, but I'm going to give you, this is all just the beginning. So I would notice that one leader would sit behind me one week. The other leader would sit behind me one week. And, Holy Spirit would be telling me she's using the manipulation on them to curse the money that I bring into there. So the Lord told me, do not take any more cash into that place. Pay, if you're going to give tithes and offering, pay with your card. So the first time I brought the card in there to pay, the look on the leader's face was like, So now I'm just in this. I don't know what the Lord is trying to do. I'm just in this. I knew my gifts before I walked in this place, even if I was not living them. I knew my gifts before I walked, but I guess they assumed that I was just some person off the street that just didn't know nothing. I don't know what they assumed. I can't say, but the way that I was being treated, I can only believe that that's what they assumed. So time would go on. She would not pray for me. She would not pray for my children. And so they ended up, I started realizing a lot of people would come to the church, but then a lot of people would stop coming to the church. And there was one woman there in particular. She was the loudest one in the room. When I first, saw her, I thought she was just very cool and laid back and quiet. So now, but there was one woman there. She went, I'm not going to say one, I'm going to say two. There was two women there. One in particular, she can bring the presence of the Holy Spirit into that place. When I say she can, I used to just love when she was up there. And I used to just love it because the Holy Spirit would just come into the place, and then she would dance, and it would fill the atmosphere with the Holy Spirit. And I'd be like, okay, I like her. But I can't really say that, because throughout my life, anybody I like, it's like the devil just get into them and they don't like me. So I just left it as is. But she would bring the Holy Spirit into the place and just issue the Holy Spirit in. She was very anointed, whether she know it or not. And there was another, when she would preach, I was like, oh, she have it. She the one. Like, I just loved her presence. But again, I'm not trying to get too close to anybody, because the people that I like don't like me. So, but yet and still, I'm trying to build something here. I'm thinking in my mind, okay, this would be like a good little sisterhood. This is what I'm thinking. So then I start noticing the attitudes from certain people in the leadership. We would go into Bible study. They was ask questions, and me, I'm very up tempo and I'm very energetic. So I would answer questions, and one of the leaders that I started seeing the hatred towards me, she would ask questions, and then she'll say, well, how do you know you saved? Or she'll say, who in here is saved? Or whatever. And I raise my hand. Well, how do you know you saved? So now in my mind, because I know where I come from and I know where I'm trying to go. I'm the old me would have been like, you got a problem? Like, what y'all want to do? But I'm trying to go a place. I'm trying to get a place. I'm trying to get where I used to be. So I'm leaving the old me behind, but I just could not understand why is the problem. The problem was because they were already being manipulated and taught that something is wrong with me. So I would answer the questions and I said to one of the other leaders, I'm talking to her. I said, oh, well, let me not say that, because I don't want nobody to have an attitude about anything I say. And the woman came and she apologized, or whatever the case may be. So when I say that they was treating me very icky, just very, so I just started just staying to the back of the church, because the Lord already told me that I got to go back. So as time started going past, things started to calm down. I guess the leader must have went in prayer. I don't know what she do, but it started to calm down. Everybody was normal after a while. Nobody wasn't, even though I can see the hearts of the people. I can see the spirit in the people. They don't know that I can see them. They don't know. They don't know. I can see what's going on in your house. Like, they don't know this. I'm just quiet. I'm minding my business. I'm not judging people. The Lord started revealing them to me. One of the leaders the Lord revealed to me first. And I can see her at home cussing, just cussing at her, just cussing. And I was like, say it ain't so. But I can see that the spirit in this particular person was of a bully spirit. And I would just look at her, and she would do little stuff like come next to me and swing stuff like, but they don't know me. I'm not going backwards. I'm trying to go forward, because I ain't tooting my own horn. I'm not, because I don't live that life no more. But if you ask people about Melanie, or guess, Melanie, they know Melanie because Melanie used to always fight in the streets. But that's not the life I'm living. I'm an adult now. I have children. I'm trying to make businesses, but I can see the spirit that is in this individual. So I ignore it. I just used to laugh quietly and just put my head down and just whatever, just leave it. But the women, I started to really grow to love these women. And to this day, I still love these women, because there are women in there that was really seeking God. And some of them, like, I wish I could say who and what's what, but the one who I said that when I love when she preached, like she's anointed and she got, I can feel the power of the Holy Spirit on her. And I knew that, even though I knew all the other stuff that was going on in the background with the manipulation, I knew that that was power on her. I just loved her. And then even with the pastor, like I used to love her. Like I tried to I'm sorry y'all, I'm like tearing up because I really did love these women. So the pastor, I would try to, like when I would invite people to the church, I would say, you have to just come and, meet the people. I'm so sorry, y'all. So I'm sorry. So I tried to like really love these people, but I'm doing it in my own way. I'm quiet. I'm not a charismatic type of person where like I'm energetic with when I'm trying to get comfortable and stuff like that, but I'm not the person who finna run around the church. I'm not finna be doing the most. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I grew up in church all my life. It didn't just start at the church that they know about. I've been going to church all my life, so I know how church worked. And but I was never one of those traditional type of people. And I'm not the type of person that is so friendly. If you talk to me, we talk. I'm not getting up running around, I'm not dancing, I'm not doing certain things. It's just not my personality. It's just not what I do. Um and I was trying and trying and trying to make it work. So we ended up going on a 21-day fast because we were trying to go into a new building. They had some personal things happening where the people sold the building, whatever. So during that 21-day fast, that's when the Lord was really on me. And now he's revealing. He's revealing. By the second, third day of the 21-day fast, the Lord is already on me. So I have a dream, and in this dream, I see the leader, the pastor. And I see her, and what I believe in this dream is a new church. But the new church that they got was not the one that I saw in the dream. This was a different place. And in the dream, the place is empty. The only people in there are the leaders. Now, I'm going to lay it all out on the line. I'm going to say everything that I saw, everything, because it is whatever. So I see the leader, and she's leaving the building. She's walking to her car, but she's keeping it together. Now I can tell that she's keeping it together, but I'm in the spirit. So when you're in the spirit, I know spiritual things are foolish to the carnal man, but when you're in the spirit, you don't have to ask questions. You just know. She's keeping it together in front of them, but she's crying and she just want to give up. So I said in the dream, Lord, why is she sad when she had the church that she wanted? This is what she wanted. So as she walked into the car, I see two of the leaders laughing at her behind her back. And they go in there, they lock up the place. She goes into a building next door. So I go in there to the building. I say, let me go give her this telephone number so that she can be able to do whatever. So I go in and I go to the back of this building, and she walks to the back down the side, down in the hallway. But there was a bunch of children in there around her, and she's taking them to the bathroom and she's crying. And I said to her, hey, I was coming to give you this number. And she closed the door in my face, but I didn't take it as rude. I knew she did not want to see me to see her crying. And she's taking these children to the bathroom. And then she comes out and she sit and talk to me, and she just crying and, sad or whatever. And these little girls came out. But there was one little girl in particular, a little light-skinned girl. But I believe that these were her leaders, but I'm seeing them in the spirit as little women, little girls. And she was like, I'm finna go to Disney World or something, she said. And the little girl said, oh, now you want to go to Disney World or something. She said, you better be quiet if I pop you or something, she said to the little girl. And I just was trying to go on my phone to give her the telephone number, and she was just sitting there. And I ended up leaving. But in the dream, I knew I was no longer a part of their church. I woke up from that dream. I told her about the dream. I told her. Then I had another dream because I used to pray, and I'm like, Lord, at this time, some people believe that if you don't speak in tongues, you don't have the Holy Spirit. And that's not true. Because when I was saved previously, before I fell back into the world, I never spoke in tongues. And when I took a drink of alcohol, that's when if you have watched my testimony, that's when I saw the Holy Spirit leave me. And that's when I knew I had the Holy Spirit, because I never knew before. I never spoke in tongues, but I had the Holy Spirit in me, and he just out of me. And, you could go back and watch that video. So I said, Lord, why don't I speak in tongues? Everybody speaking in tongues. Your words say the tongues is for the believers. I'm a believer and I'll speak in tongues. So he came and gave me a dream. So in this dream, I'm standing in front of the church, and that leader is talking to me on the microphone. It's like we're doing testimony, and I'm like, why I can't speak in tongues? I'm saying all the same things that I was praying to the Lord about. And she put her hand on my back, and she said, you want to speak in tongues? I said, yeah. She said, anything you ask the Holy Spirit for, he's going to give it to you. I said, well, okay. So I turned around, get on the microphone. I said, Holy Spirit, I want to speak in tongues. Next thing I know, the Holy Spirit just dropped down on me. And I could not hear. My ears was completely, it was like the Spirit was on me, but holding my ears, I couldn't hear. But I know that I'm speaking in tongues. So I'm speaking in tongues in the dream, but I'm trying to get the Holy Spirit off of me so I can hear what I'm saying. But it's like he on me, but it's invisible. So I don't feel him physically. He on me, but I can't feel him tangibly. So I'm speaking in tongues in a dream, and I fall down, and I see a hand come out of heaven with an envelope and hand me this envelope. And now the Holy Spirit is off me because I'm no longer speaking in tongues. And before I can open the envelope, I woke up from the dream. I told her about that dream too. So next thing you know, Pentecost came. Day of Pentecost. They're praying for everybody, I know the Holy Spirit is there because I can see him, I can feel him, I can sense him, and I know he's staring directly at me. So that day, I'm just crying out to the Lord. I'm crying out. And the people whose hands I was holding, I felt absolutely zero power from those people. So I didn't want to be mean, and forgive me. I said, let me go. I just y'all let me go. So, because the Holy Spirit is now on me. So one of the leaders, the ones that I say that she can preach, and I really like her. She walks up to me, and I can feel the power on her that I could not feel on these people that was holding me. So I'm trying to get it. I end up getting it. One of the ladies, I don't know this lady, she came up to me, and she was with it in it with me, and she was saying, don't think about it. You're thinking too much. Don't think about it. Just let it flow. And I took her advice, and boom, started to flow. I used to get up every morning 6 a.m. because I did not want to lose my tongue. And I would pray in tongues for 30 minutes every morning at 6 a.m. My kids used to be like, Mom, you up in there? You got this music on? And you 6 in the morning, I close the door and be in there just praying in tongues because I was scared to lose it. So things seem to be going right. Then it just fell again. The same rejection that I've spoke about, the same things that I've had the conversation with this leader about was starting to come back. It's coming back. Like it's picking back up, doing it again. So we'll be in the line, everybody getting prayer. She'll walk past me. She did me like this one day. She said something to me, but I couldn't. Oh, I'm not praying for you. Something she said, but I was just like, I couldn't hear everything she was saying. I don't know if I was zoned out or what, and I'm just standing there like, what? But my thing was, how can the leaders see these things and feel that it's okay? Who's going to the Holy Spirit about anything? First of all, when she came to you and told you whatever she manipulated your mind with to tell you that something was wrong with me, you should have went to the Holy Spirit then, but they don't do that. They just listen to whatever she say be right to them. So I'm saying we seeing these things and nobody's saying nothing. It was after some time I realized why people wasn't saying anything and why some people just didn't see it. And I'm going to tell y'all how I started to realize that. But we're going to talk about that in part 2 of how I started to realize why they wasn't asking and why nobody could not see what was going on. So I want you guys to watch every one of the videos in order to get the concept of what's going on and be in tune. I'm not going to stay long on this video. I did not want to make every video so long because if I tell you all things in one video, that'll be the longest video, and nobody is not about to sit and watch a 2-hour, 3-hour video. So please, 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 y'all watch the videos all the way through so you can get all the concept. Then I will tell you who and what's what and where, and all of the good juicy information that you really want to know. But do stay tuned, and mind you, again, this is not slander. This is not an exposure video. This is nothing like this. This is my experience because I know that there are other people and other women that was there in that church that left that also had experiences, but they won't tell it because when things are happening to you in the spirit, and you're trying to explain it to people that are carnal and not in the spirit, they will never get it. They will say you lying. They will make it seem like you in a sci-fi movie and you don't know what you're talking about. And life is spiritual. And things started to happen in the spirit that I started noticing. But they don't know me. So they don't know that I know about the spiritual realm. So y'all tune in. Guys, don't forget to go to IamHeavenlyDesigned.com and to get all of the I changed the slogan to gracefully saved and stylishly dressed. So go and get all your suit and blazer needs, different I'm trying to add on new flavors, things that we can wear on vacation and still be saved, things that we can wear to church and things of that sort. So please do go to the website. We have a new shoe collection that is there also. And browse and see what it is you like. Join the text club for the Proverbs 31 women. Join the email list so that you can receive the emails on the new things that we have, and also the sales or promotions or things that we do have going on. And don't forget to get your copy of the Regaining the Holy Spirit ebook. This ebook is for those of us who have lost the Holy Spirit or may have just lost your momentum. Your fire has been quenched and you just want to regain. So you go ahead and purchase that book. That is also there on the IamHeavenlyDesigned.com website. And there's also prophetic journals that is there that you can purchase, that you can dream books where you can write your dreams down, because I am a dreamer. And before, I used to just try to remember everything and I never used to write them down. So now I do write them down. So I'm also extended that to you guys, where you can get you a journal or a dream book that is also there. So scan that QR code and get that. And for those people who are looking for work, maybe part-time, maybe full-time, but you want to work from home, scan that QR code and join my virtual call center, and we can connect you with the some of the top Fortune 500 companies where you can work from home, and you can you know be start working. You can work from home in the comfort of your own home and have the flexibility that you need to work how you want to work. So I want to thank you all for tuning in to this video, and I want to tell you all that I love you, and I want you guys to pray for me, because with this video, and when I post these videos, I've already shown you guys the witchcraft that is being done in front of my home, the people who are trying to abduct me and things of that stuff. The attacks are going to increase. The warfare is going to increase. And as they do, I am going to record it all, and I'm going to come on here to tell you all about it. And for those of you who are skeptical about it, about what I'm saying, I'm going to give you some timelines. I'm going to show you some proof. I'm going to show you some things that is going to show you that I am not lying to you. So as the attacks increase, as the warfare increase, I'm going to come on and I'm going to tell you all about it. So nothing will be hidden. Everything will be put out into the open. And even the people whose eyes are still blind, they will be able to see what is happening too as well. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to visit all of those websites. And I love you and I appreciate you, and I thank you for watching these videos. Please do hit the subscribe button, the like button, and also share it so we can get this out to as many people as possible, and to just share the page so people can get the word. Whenever the Lord speak, I try to get on and do things, or whenever he anoint me to say certain things, or try to open the eyes of the people who eyes needs to be open. I just so share the page, share the videos, hit the like button, get the algorithm going so that people will be able to. We can't get the views without the likes and the shares. So I thank you and I appreciate you. Love you.